Let's start with the history of preachers. A long, long, long time ago, and it was probably a mistake. Um, I created a school for preachers. There was a preacher school, and they were supposed to put together things that would help people deal with problems and people um, cope and talk and basically be like kind of like counselors. It was a long, long, long time ago, probably around 1200. But I created a school of preachers, paid a staff to create sermons and stuff like that. So it was one of my ideas. And looking back at it, I'm just like, oh, what was I thinking? I don't know. Anyway, um, so yes, I did have a school of preachers. And anyway, talk about the devil. It's like, I paid you and now you're actually talking smack about me. Oh, wow. Okay. Anyway, didn't realize it was going to happen like that. Gave them money, and then they started talking. Maybe it's because they get free money and they know it's my money, but they don't want to give it to me. Whatever. Um, so anyway, but yeah, I created a school of preachers. In fact, probably had one of my calligraphy people create the Bible. The Bible started out as a story, as a documenting of history. Um, the Lucifer's Bible is probably better. They call it Satan, but it's actually Lucifer. It's my Bible. I wish they would get my name right. Well, it's because I used to go by S, like my wheels. They were curved wheels, and I also went by E. Um, I kind of came from a time when people really didn't have names. Like for a while there, they were actually they're actually naming people numbers. Like this is your name, a number. And then later on, I created a lot of things. We go from basically non-speaking, non-communicating to communicating like that. I initiated those changes actually in my people, going from not real communication, ooh, and ye, and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to be basic or barbaric or pretend, but we went from basic communications to where I was trying to articulate more communication to my people, trying to get them to think and communicate. People were a lot more willing to do things when they were basic, but I didn't really want basic. I knew I needed more than basic, so I tried to get them to communicate more verbally and writtenly. And that was another part in my life when we actually started getting more communication. And that started to change things and started to change me in a weird way too. I was a certain way, and then I was starting to become another way when I started encouraging verbal communications. And realistically, if I wanted a girlfriend, I probably should have stuck with no verbal communications. Things were a lot easier back then. People followed me a lot more religiously. But I wanted real communications, and I remember that when I shifted that over from basic communications to complicated communications, and things started to change. I started to change when I did that, and so, and then later on, I wanted written languages, and where was I? Um, anyway, I've changed all of humanity basically, completely shifted around. Like I say, I do remember a time when we did just communicate with ug and e and ah, just like this very very basic communications, which works, but it doesn't work that well. Um, and I shifted that over to more complicated communications because I wanted my people to actually communicate with me. I wanted real communication, real talking. And when I started encouraging my people to communicate and to talk, that changed things around to where they did start to talk, and that technically was a revolution and changed a lot of things. I go way, way back, way back. And back to when I was helping people learn how to do things, possibly did think for the whole community, but I was trying to get my people to be more than they were, and then later on I wanted a store and stuff like that, and it's kind of like change. It's kind of weird the way we were a certain way. I started to encourage another thing, and that started to change things even faster and more, and then we've kind of changed into something else. And so it's really weird. It's really, really weird because I do remember the time when we just communicated with like three or different or four different sounds, kind of thing almost, and I could do more other stuff. Anyway, though, but we got past that thing, and things got complex and changed vastly. And I was different back then. Humanity was different back then. We were all different. And then we changed into something else, and we've continued to change over throughout the years. And that's how I have been leader for so long. And plus, I was the person initiating these changes. Um, and you get into the whole thing of, well, was I that person because of where I am now, or was I that person, just that person? And I don't know. I don't really care. I've done a lot of things since. There was that time, and then I changed things, invented things, helped things, and then I changed even more, changed even more. You know, I'm not even going to take credit for any of that other stuff. Even though, yeah, I mean, I do remember. So, anyway, that's why some people call me Knuckle Dragger. It's like, oh, I raised up humanity, and you wouldn't let me while I punch this person. He wouldn't be who he is without me. So, I've been leader of this colony for a long time now, and maybe a good thing too, because I've kept people alive, I've sheltered people, I protected people, even when people were messing with me, I still stayed the course, and so. It's kind of ridiculous, but that's why those cave paintings are about me. That's why I know like 10 generations of tribal people. That's why all tribes basically, in some way, they've known me. They know me. Their ancestors knew me. Whether they remember that or know that or not, it was true. I helped them find fire. I helped them make fire. I helped them keep fire. You know, I helped them do the first textiles. I helped them shave, learn to shave. I helped them learn to cut and comb their hair. Because I remember the pictures. They documented it. They took pictures of everyone and everything. And I saw the pictures and I thought, well, and then so they braided themselves, and that looked nice. But and I didn't mind. I was like, that's nice. But can we maybe see about some shaving, some beards? Okay. And so we started shavings, and it got a little more ridiculous where I kind of I kind of gave us some different cheekbones a little bit, and some other stuff. You know, I was like, yeah, just do a couple of touches. I mean, later on, but that was later on stuff. That's like when I'm present day, just making a couple little modifications. You know, reducing the forehead, that kind of thing. Just a little bit of stuff. Nothing serious. But that's because I was already that person way in the past, and the present day knew it. I was already leader. I wasn't made leader. So anyway, and then I just kind of like, you know, but so anyway, and a lot of other things happened. So many other things happened. So anyway, and then even more things with the trade schools and everything else. So basically, I've been the leader of this colony, like I say, for a very long time now, and I love my people. I adore them. I cared about them. I kept them warm. I helped them harden up caves, live in caves, build structures. Although they weren't caves back then, they look nice. They're benches. They're pretty nice in there, actually. You know, they had very quickly. I mean, just because someone isn't really advanced doesn't mean they don't make nice stuff. They made very nice stuff. They made very good stuff and very comfortable stuff, very beautiful stuff. My people were always amazing, even when they didn't know how to speak 7 languages and do this and that. They were always amazing. So, like I said, I'd give almost anything for those people back, because those people they were that great and they were that dedicated. But people today might still be that dedicated if they truly understood who I really am. But anyway, so yeah, it's complex, complicated.